Good evening and welcome to the real world. At the beginning of this period, the quarantine, we read so many articles from Chachamim telling us you're going to be home for a while, you have time that you don't usually have. Learn a new skill, learn how to play the clarinet, learn Spanish. And I assure you, 2 months in, that probably didn't happen. But one thing that did happen is you probably took a game out of your game closet that you didn't play in a long time. Clue, Risk, Monopoly, Backgammon, Checkers, whatever it is. You probably played a game over the last few weeks. When you're playing a game with somebody else, it could be an experience that involves focus and concentration. Then there's a moment, the climax of the game. Somebody's about to win. That's a very good feeling when you're about to win the game. That midah is called netzach. And that's the sphere this week. My father told me over yesterday was the midah of netzach, sheva netzach. So my father told me over b'shem the Heilige Rishna, who said, what does netzach, sheva netzach mean? Netzach is when you're about to win, triumph over somebody else, be victorious over somebody else. Netzach, sheva netzach is when you take that and turn it inwardly, and the one who you beat is yourself. You're victorious over yourself. You triumph over yourself. You're menatzeach ibezich over yourself. What does that mean? A Hirschman, a Pinchas Hirschman was a guy now, a Sarat Mamish. He was the Rav here in Montreal. A Pinchas Hirschman would say over, when he was a young man, he was the pride of Chachmei Lublin, probably the most brilliant young Talmid Chacham in Poland. And they took him to meet the guy, the Gadol Adar of Chaim Ozer. Chaim Ozer, there's a Pinchas Hirschman, get already written Svarim. He was very famous. Chaim Ozer was the Gadol Adar, and they were speaking and learning, and they argued about a Gemara in Ksubis. Chaim Ozer said it was on Daf Mem Ches, and Rav Hirschman said it was on Daf Mem Zayin, he thinks. Chaim Ozer said, no, he thinks it's Mem Ches, Mem Zayin, Mem Ches, back and forth. So one of the bystanders said, let's go get a Gemara, we'll look it up. And Chaim Ozer said, no, don't get a Gemara. He told Rav Hirschman, he said, you're going to, as Fashem and device about, you're going to embarrass me with my white beard. You're young, you're sharp, you're fresh, you're probably right, no reason to check it up. Later, Rav Hirschman went home. The first thing he did was he went and took a Gemara off the shelf. He checked Ksubis and he saw that Reb Chaim Ozer was right. And he understood then that Reb Chaim Ozer knew he was right. He just chose not to embarrass him. Now, the first step, being right, is Netzach. He won. You said this, he said that, you were right, that's Netzach. And then Reb Chaim Ozer was able, on the spot, to take that Midas and Netzach and say, now I'm going to use that to beat myself. The one who I'm going to squash here is myself, my own desire to say, hey, I know, that's Netzach Sheba Netzach. Reb David Trank, legendary mechanech. Such a life-changing line, he said. And whether or not you're in chinuch, parent, your spouse, your partner, whoever it is, this is life-changing. He said somebody told me over, that his own Talmud, this Rebbe, called David Trank, said his own Talmud did something terrible. He did something really, really, that was worthy of being expelled for or worse. Really needed discipline, needed a punishment. He called Rabbi Trank, he said, you know what my Talmud did? And he told him the Avera that this Talmud had done. What do I do? So Rabbi Trank grabbed this Rebbe's arm and he said, do you know what you do? You do nothing. And do you know how hard it is to do nothing? Now, you caught somebody doing something wrong, your child, whoever it is. You see something wrong in the office, wherever you are. Midas HaNetzach says, I caught you. I'm going to call you out. Netzach Sheba Netzach says, I'm really going to win. I'm going to do what's best for you. You know what's best for the Talmud? You know what's best for the child? To do nothing. That's the epitome of Midas HaNetzach. The Rebbe should help us this week. We should be able to tap into that kayach to really win.